Nigel Farage just as likely to be the next PM. Oh God, it's all that crap with the music again. I don't know if he's got the same chances, to be honest. I think a lot of the cult from Tories and Labour will go back to the cult. I think a lot of these local councillors that are walking away from Labour at the moment, the only reason that they're walking away is because they know, if not, their career's over. It makes me laugh. I'm leaving the Labour Party, but I'm going to stay as an independent until the Labour Party sorts themselves out. So in other words, until they think they can get back in. And this is the problem that we have. Do I think Nigel Farage can do a better job? Sometimes. I don't, like I've said in a different story, I don't think, and we've said before in this stream, I don't think that he could do a worse job. Do I think he's got the right people backing him, or do I think there's a lot of people there that just want power? I think there's a lot of people that just want power. I think there's a lot of people that will backstab Nigel the minute they can. And I think there's a few people that Nigel will backstab, as has already been seen, if he can. So I don't see a big difference between Reform and Tories. I see Tories now talking about getting rid of Kimmy Badenoch, or whatever her name is. I see Reform all over the space, to be honest. You see some of the candidates saying they're leaving. You see some of the candidates saying the same. Councillors, just like Labour. I think at the minute, all the parties are a bit of a shit show. And I think a lot of people are walking away from them all. But they go, oh, well, then go to someone like the Greens or Lib Dems. You would have to be one of the special needs groups to be going to these. Because just by listening to them for 30 seconds, they haven't got a frigging clue. All you keep getting is, oh, we can borrow money for this, we can borrow money for that. They borrow. And then they go, oh, well, it'll pay itself back off in 50, 100 years. How much more interest do you want your children to pay? How long do you want to stay in the recession that it will create, like it is with the Labour? Even though they say we've got growth, they are pumping billions into the system. I think it's saying like 36. They've said they're going to borrow 250 billion, a £250 billion by the end of this government. But they think it's not going to affect anything. And people keep saying about this 1% growth. If you bust 36 billion into the system, of course there's going to be growth. They're pumping money into wages, they're pumping money into building, they're pumping money into this and that. Of course it's going to cost growth. It should have pushed up growth a lot more than 1%. But this is what people don't realise, because they follow the news and they've got a attention span of about 30 seconds.